What if the school down the street, the one your child attends every single day, is already doing more to prepare them for college and career success than you ever realized? Well, that question deserves a serious answer, especially at a time when families are being bombarded with messages that traditional public schools are falling behind, losing ground, and failing to prepare students for the real world. As public school administrators and central office leaders, you know the truth that often gets buried beneath the headlines. But knowing it and communicating it effectively are two very different things. And that gap is costing our schools the trust they have rightfully earned. Here is where many well-meaning school leaders get it wrong. They invest in extraordinary programs, dual enrollment partnerships, advanced placement coursework, industry certification pathways, and career counseling, and then they tuck those offerings into a page on the school website and call it a day. They assume parents will find it, read it, and be inspired by it. Well, they also lead with the program rather than the person. And when families don't respond with enthusiasm, leaders often conclude that the programs aren't compelling enough, when in truth, the story simply hasn't been told well enough. I think about a conversation I had years ago with a high school counselor who was nearly in tears, describing a senior who had just been accepted to a local university through a dual enrollment pathway. The student, a first-generation college goer from a family that had never navigated the college application process, walked across that stage already holding 6 college credits. Her counselor had fought quietly, consistently, and passionately behind the scenes to make that moment possible. But when I asked the counselor how many parents in that school community knew about the dual enrollment program before their child's junior year, she paused. "Not many," she admitted softly. "We don't really talk about it enough." That is the tension so many of you live in every day. You are building launch pads, but if the people you serve don't know the launch pad exists, students will seek it elsewhere, or worse, arrive at adulthood without ever having stood on one. The right answer is not simply to add more programs. The right answer is to lead with purpose, communicate with clarity, and build a culture where every adult in the building understands that their role does not end at graduation. It ends at launch. A well-led traditional public school does not just prepare students to receive a diploma. It equips them with the credentials, the confidence, and the connections to step boldly into the next chapter of their lives. The evidence is not anecdotal. The College Board reports that students who complete advanced placement coursework are significantly more likely to persist through college, demonstrating the powerful academic preparation that public schools provide. When schools pair that kind of rigorous coursework with intentional college counseling and career pathway programming, the impact compounds. Students don't just graduate, they arrive. And arrival matters. The first generation student who walks into a college classroom already holding credits didn't get there by accident. She got there because someone in a public school building decided that her launch was just as important as her enrollment. That counselor, that principal, that superintendent who approved the dual enrollment partnership, they are the unsung architects of student futures. So what is the action for every administrator hearing this today? Well, audit your school's launch infrastructure. Ask yourself honestly, does every student in your building, regardless of zip code, income level, or family background, have a clear, supported pathway to what comes next? Do your families know by name and by story the programs that are already in place to give their child a competitive advantage? And are your staff members empowered not just to be teachers of content, but also architects of futures? Because when a traditional public school is well led, it is not simply a place where children learn. It is the place where they prepare to soar.